Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
What exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon. Why not embrace it?
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
So, what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
How long did it take you to figure out you need to defend your city?
Not long, but the devil is always in the details. And the salient detail here is a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
Right.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
This Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Intelligence. Ordnance or ordnance?
An ordnance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here. Not like Graham's iconoclasts.
There's nothing the board likes so much as paperwork.
Can a legal document really be that important?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Failing a perception check there. Then I guess I'll go get your Bolt 52.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there.
Yeah.
Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Before I go, I need to ask you something.
What can I do for you?
I have questions about MSI in the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Do you mean that you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Terra 1 and Terra 2. I see the board put their best people on that one.
Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
How forward-thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Ms. Holcomb is our endlessly optimistic crew hand. It's good for the captain's morale.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out,
Right.
creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Using the board's own tools against them, then. Clever.
That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
Yet here you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
That's low, even for them.
I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
What's the hazard clause?
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments.
And they've invoked it on Monarch?
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
Why exactly do you want to get back on the board, then?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
Fuck it, burn it all.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Leverage?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
You don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
I will admit, I am keen to meet their leader.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining everything, and everyone around him.
We've got strong feelings on the matter.
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
I want to talk about something else.
What can I do for you?
I met Grim, the landing pad guard.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Okay, I've got to go.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
What was that exchange about? You having money trouble?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Maybe I could talk to him for you.
Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
Wait, I'm curious. What do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
You really want to be with someone you can't talk to?
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
There are other fish in the sea, Celia.
Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
I'll talk to you later. So, Celia... wants a date with Sebastian, who is where? Over
Who
here.
wants to play an impromptu tossball match?
Not
No
me. I'm over encumbered and really tired.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in a raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Let's see what you have.
Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much.
Oh man, he does just sell bits. Cysty pig tumours. Can I sell all my junk? Which is a music box.
You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts?
Why would I want any of that?
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Pavati, you know who he's talking about?
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make a museum for
remember?
Halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially.
Have you seen a manta queen?
Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them.
Where have you seen a manta queen?
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
I don't know if we'll be able to do
Captain,
this.
can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble.
I killed your home!
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
If he's a friend of Pavati's, I suppose I ought to.
Thanks, Captain.
I like Pavati.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there too.
So let's talk about Celia.
Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff.
She likes you.
Nice of you to say. I like her too.
No, I mean she really likes you.
And I gotta admire anyone with her passion for canid hides. But you don't have to butter me up.
You idiot. I'm telling you, she wants to date you.
Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smote? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for raptidon tongues.
She doesn't want to... persuade 35. Don't take my word for it. Spend some time with her. I promise she won't ask for a discount.
You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well. But we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
Pavati's entire, like... Oh god, we are so over-encumbered and tired and slightly drunk. Pavati's like... Yeah, matchmaking.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say?
Grim asked me to check with you about his Tossball poster.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
I wanted to talk to you about Sebastian.
Oh, have you talked to him?
He said he'll go on a date with you.
Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia? I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on?
He likes you, Celia. Just don't ask him for any discounts.
Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
Money! I'm horrendously over-encumbered with... Is it crap? How did we... I'm fatigued. I'm tired. Why am I fatigued? I've stopped healing. I've stopped healing. Oh dear. Right. Perks. I've got a perk. Increase the carrying capacity bonus from your companions. Restore some health whenever you kill an enemy. That could be good. But we'll go with Rolling Thunder. Tired! Oh, 10 points. I'm going to put 3 into Persuade, because we're only level 16. I think max level is 30, so we should be able to... I'm very tired, aren't I? Right. I'm going to put some into melee. And some into that. And then one more into science. Time dilation, location hits. You have unlocked location hit effects for tactical time dilation. Hitting enemies in different locations during tactical time dilation maims or cripples those body parts. Try different locations to see the different effects. Yeah. Right. What we actually need to do...
I've seen you limping a bit. You alright, Mr. Vicar? Need us to slow down?
What are you implying? I am perfectly fit. My knee is just acting up.
There's no shame in being older, Mr. Vicar. Don't worry. The captain and I'll take care of you.
I need neither your advice nor your pity, young lady.
Where's the boat? Where's the boat? There. Thirsty. I'm really tired now. Have you seen that? Have you seen how quickly that's dripped down? How do I get on the boat? How does one... Ah, here we go. We'll tell Grim he did a good job because we're limping our way back to the boat to deal with our inventory.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in.
I forgot to do that. Fuck me. Up! Why? That's the worst thing about Fallout you guys took, man. I mean, at least you can sort of do the jump and it's not as bad as it used to be in Oblivion, but... God, I hate weight limits, kids. I fucking hate them. So I'm going to have a character go to sleep. And then we'll just empty our inventory, basically. I know I'm carrying around a bunch of armor because I want to swap people out. So I think we need to go out with the Vicar and Parvati, I think. Still. But I'm not 100% on what I'm doing. Hang on a second. Is that my... Some fucker just knocked on my door. That's what that was. Right, we need to sort shit out. So we need to drink, eat, and go to sleep. So we'll,
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
Dead center. Next round's on you.
Shh, the captain's coming. Put your gun away. Act casual.
Oh, yes. This'll about do. That's a mighty clean weapon. Yep. Ain't no call for a closer inspection by anybody. Hey, Cap.
you getting along with the crew?
Parvati showed me how to properly grease the magazine release on one of my firearms. She's a smart one, you know.
Yep.
Opal was quiet in the same way. She'd hang back, out of sight, then all of a sudden pop in with a bit of wisdom out of nowhere. Shit. Look at me dredging up bygone days. Forget I said anything.
Nope, not letting this one go. Who's Opal?
Don't push it, Captain. Hey, Cap.
Something on your mind? Sometimes I wonder about Mr. Hawthorne. What was he like? Why'd he make the computer a talkie? You think he got lonely, flying about on his own?
You met that auto-mechanical clanking around the ship yet?
Oh, you mean Sam? He's just the sweetest, ain't he? A real charmer, my dad'd say.
Have you given him a nickname yet?
Nah, but I've been thinking on one. Gotta get to know him better, I think. Maybe ask him what he prefers. It ain't nice to give folks a nickname without him giving you the okay first, you know?
God damn, isn't
Of course, that don't stop Felix.
Isn't Parvati just like the most lovable character? She really is. Hey, Ellie.
Something on your mind?
I need to go upstairs, drink and eat, dump a bunch of stuff. So, what do I have? Am I breaking that shit down? Because I have a bunch of crap armor and I've just really realised I have some really crap armor here. We want a nice hat, though. So we want to make sure we put a nice hat in there. Now, we need to eat and drink. No, fuck it. We're going to sleep first. We're going to sleep for 8.5 hours. Now we're very tired and very hungry, and we're still massively over encumbered. Why? Because I've got no companions with me. I'm hungry and thirsty. Yeah, I know. Because I've got no companions with me. Now, that's nicotine. That does nothing. We'll eat some Raptidon meat. Drink some water. And another water. I've got a lot of crap on me, haven't I? Keep the Raptidon meat. Put the purple berry lunch. Put that in there, put that in there. Yeah, we're still... I have all of this. This is all in my inventory, right? This is where the problem is. So I need to get rid of a lot of this. I don't know what half this shit is. What gun am I using? Because we need to do some modding and shit as well. I need to get an assault rifle and mod it to be mag to zap. Do I even have a mag to zap? Do I have an assault rifle just sticking around? I have this one. Do I have a better one? $62 to $94. Do I have a mag to zap? No, I don't have any of the mag to zap stuff that I need. We're just going to sleep again. For 6 hours. All our effects wear off. We've got some Nyoka. Right, Nyoka we can equip. She's got a light machine gun. And a tremor cleaver. So... Oh. I have some elite trooper armor. She's got 3 perks. Make us stealthy, so we've gone with healthy, hunter, and cooldowns. Now I did put a nice hat in the thing, yeah. Okay. So we have a bit of a drink, and we eat this, and everything else we should pick up as we go out. In theory, if I've done this right. I really wish someone hadn't knocked on my door then, because I had plans for what I wanted to do. I wanted to get Nyoka, basically. And we've got her now, and hey!
Hey, Cap.
So, lots of quests to do, lots of stuff to do. We'll work it out.